沈总，请你不要总说一些侮辱欧米伽的话，这有违 ABO 平权协议的相关规定。
怎么了，高图？你一个贝塔要替欧米伽去告我
？The morning after Gao Tu's critical collapse, the world seemed to tilt on its axis. Shen Wenlang had gone completely insane searching for him. His mind consumed with worry, longing, and an impossible fear that he might never see his mate again. Gao Tu, meanwhile, was caught in a life-threatening storm he never could have imagined. Pregnant, weak and desperate to survive, yet terrified of the alpha who had once been his protector. Gao Tu had always been cautious. Years of suppressant medication, pheromone blocker injections, and careful planning had kept him safe, kept him in control of his own body. But this time, everything had spiraled out of control. It started innocently enough, an early escape attempt from his father, who, unbeknownst to Gao Tu, had orchestrated a cruel trap. Gao Tu collided with Ma Heng, a man he had secretly admired since childhood. Shock flashed across Ma Heng's face as he realized the truth. The seemingly untouchable Gao Tu was not only an Omega, but he was pregnant. And the pregnancy had pushed him to the brink of death. Normally, the risk of pregnancy would have been minimal. Gao Tu's medications and injections had protected him for years. But this time, it had been different, dangerously different. The heat and rut had coincided. And the compatibility between Gao Tu and his unseen alpha at that moment, Ma Heng, was so high that conception had occurred despite every precaution. Gao Tu's body was unprepared for the consequences. His pheromone glands swelled and burned. His heart faltered, stopping multiple times, and it took the medical team 4 grueling hours to revive him. By the time they stabilized him, the situation was dire. Surgery became necessary, and a blocker was implanted at the back of his neck to prevent catastrophic pheromone overload. The doctors worked tirelessly, but the baby survived miraculously healthy amid the chaos. For Gao Tu, the road to recovery was impossible without alpha pheromones. The medical team ran compatibility tests and the results were undeniable. Ma Heng was more than 65% compatible, a perfect candidate to provide the soothing pheromones Gao Tu desperately needed. Without Ma Heng's intervention, Gao Tu might not have survived another week. Ma Heng, once a quiet observer of Gao Tu's life, suddenly became his lifeline. For 14 consecutive days, he stayed by Gao Tu's side, providing the calming, life-saving pheromones that steadied Gao Tu's body and heart. Each day, Gao Tu recovered a little more, but the trauma and fear of being under Shen Wenlang's shadow remained. Gao Tu's heart was torn. He knew he had to keep running, keep hiding, because the words Shen Wenlang had once spoken still haunted him. If an Omega became pregnant, the child would not survive. Meanwhile, Shen Wenlang was unraveling. Every waking moment was consumed by thoughts of Gao Tu. The rut had set in, a primal craving that left him restless, desperate, almost insane with longing. Old WeChat messages, small video clips of Gao Tu's smiling face, even the way he had once helped pack his clothes, everything became a source of both comfort and torment. Shen Wenlang scrolled through the same clip hundreds of times. Gao Tu in his dressing room, asking, "Does this one look good, Mr. Shen?" Simple words, but in Shen Wenlang's eyes, they were everything. Every glance, every smile, every soft gesture he had once taken for granted now felt like a lifeline pulling him toward his mate. He spared no effort in searching for Gao Tu. Tens of thousands of ads across 3 cities, missing person notices plastered everywhere. Even the gossiping citizens couldn't understand. Why was he putting so much energy into finding a single old classmate or subordinate? Was this really just about concern or something far deeper? But Gao Tu did not know this. From his perspective, Shen Wenlang's past words were terrifying. The warnings about what would happen if an Omega became pregnant still echoed in his mind. Every step he took to escape, every hidden alleyway and borrowed car, was driven by the singular goal of keeping his unborn child safe. He would not trust Shen Wenlang again, especially when he didn't understand the depths of his desperation or why Shen Wenlang's actions now seemed so extreme. Gao Tu's own father had tricked him into situations that felt like traps. The mere presence of an alpha suppressing pheromones made it impossible for him to resist. The fear of being forced back under control kept him running. Every escape attempt, every new hiding place, was a battle between survival instincts and the faint, forbidden hope of connection. As Shen Wenlang combed through every lead, every whisper of Gao Tu's scent, the depth of his obsession became painfully clear. He even contacted Gao Tu's father, Gao Ming, desperate for news. "Has Gao Tu contacted you?" Shen Wenlang demanded, voice tight with emotion. Gao Ming replied coldly, but with an undertone of gratitude. "No. But thank you for saving my life and for the money. The moment I hear anything about Gao Tu, he will be yours. Trust me." Shen Wenlang knew his father-in-law's words were laced with deceit, but he grasped at any thread of hope. Every missing notice, every ad, every desperate search was a reminder. He would not rest until Gao Tu was safely back in his arms. He even tried pulling Gao Tu's medical records, but they had vanished after his discharge. Still, he managed to uncover one critical truth. Gao Tu had been on the brink of death and had survived. A doctor trying to ease Shen Wenlang's anxieties explained, "He has an alpha by his side now. Handsome, caring, highly compatible. Their pheromones are stabilizing him. He should not face life-threatening risks again, as long as this alpha is with him." Shen Wenlang froze. "What do you mean? As long as that alpha is there? What do you mean, whether he wants the child or not?" Every word pierced his heart. This was his Omega, his child. And yet, someone else was providing the comfort, the soothing, the life-saving pheromones Gao Tu desperately needed. Someone else was providing the comfort, the soothing, the life-saving pheromones Gao Tu desperately needed. The thought burned him inside. Shen Wenlang's mind raced. If Gao Tu's alpha could help him survive, what about the connection between them? Was their bond truly over? Shen Wenlang scrutinized travel records, passports, every possible detail. He discovered that neither Gao Tu nor Ma Heng had left the country. In truth, Gao Tu's father had helped them escape abroad, but Shen Wenlang didn't know this yet. All he knew was that his Omega was still somewhere in the country, alive but out of reach. If you're captivated by Gao Tu and Shen Wenlang's intense story and want to see what happens next, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a single twist. Comment below your thoughts.